Hello, hopefully we are broadcasting live. I'm just going to see if I can get this up on our screen as well. Where would that be? This is the first time we've done this, bear with us. Any ideas, Bobby? Would it be there?
Refresh the page.
Okie dokie. I'm not the Facebook guy, I'm the builder guy, so please bear with me. Videos, that says live, so hopefully I'll be able to see something in a minute and then I'll focus on you. There we go. Okay. So this is our first ever Facebook Live transmission, and hopefully it's going to be the first of a reasonably successful, lengthy production, and it's called What Your Builder Doesn't Want You to Know. So my name's Carl Minturn. I'm sure most of the people joining us this evening know me. For those who don't, thank you ever so much for joining us, and to those who do, I will be able to see who's with us at some point throughout the talk on another screen just out of shot there. Today I'm going to be talking specifically about why your builder shouldn't really need money up front. We're going to be talking about all sorts of subjects. We're going to do these one a week. So we're going to be talking about things like planning permissions, building control, the difference between a quote and an estimate, what it means when a builder says he's allowed a certain amount for something, and really what I'm going to try and do is give you, the client, the tools that you need to make a good decision when it comes to picking a builder. So it is now exactly past, so I feel like I've got the green light to start getting into some of the meat of it. So my name's Carl Minturn. I'm the founder of the Minturn Group of construction companies, and we find that quite a lot of the problems people experience throughout the building process, and that's the problems that both clients and contractors face, can actually be resolved, or better still, solved before they come up. And the purpose of these Facebook live chats is to sort of drill down into some of those issues and discuss them with you. So the first one we're going to discuss this week is going to be why a builder shouldn't need to take money up front. As I said previously, we will talk about some of the other issues on other occasions, but I want to just make something clear. What I'm not saying is that every builder is a charlatan and every other builder is a cowboy, and anybody that does ask for money up front is someone you should run a million miles from. Some people don't understand their business well enough. Some people make honest mistakes, and I can't really do a lot about that, but what I can do is give you, the client, the tools you need to make good decisions, meaning that you can avoid the people you want to avoid. So, when I say you shouldn't give a builder any money up front, the reason I'm saying that, and when I say shouldn't, I don't necessarily mean shouldn't. The reason a builder shouldn't require any money up front, usually it would be under the guise of material prices and paying for his upfront costs. Well, what most builders don't want you to know is that they don't pay for any of their materials up front, or almost any. When they're buying things like wood, timber, roofing materials, bricks, blocks, cement, sand, 9 times out of 10 they're getting that from a supplier such as Jewson's, Gibbs & Dandy, Travis Perkins. I'm sure you're familiar with these people. And they should really have a credit account set up with these companies. And these credit accounts would offer 30 to 60 day terms. This is my office cat, Zelda. Coming? We're live. So these 30 to 60 day terms means that if they were to order materials, say on the 1st of February, they wouldn't need to pay for those materials until the last day of March. So that's nearly 60 days. Even if they bought them on the last day of February, you've still got 30 days. So a minimum of 30 days credit. Now, I'm all for stage payments So if a builder doesn't have enough money to lay out for the entire cost of the project up front, he should be able to stage payment or create a stage payment with you so that you pay only for the work that's been completed, but he still gets the money he needs in time to make his commitments without it affecting his cash flow. Now, the only sort of discrepancy to that I personally would say is that I don't feel it's unreasonable for some builders to ask for a deposit to hold a date. So if you're accepting a quotation and it represents 2 weeks' work for the builder, I don't think it's unreasonable for him to ask for a small deposit to hold that date, because the downside of not doing so for that builder would be there is absolutely no penalty on you, the client, backing out at the last minute. Potentially he's turned away other work that he could have done during that period, so he's actually out of pocket. He could even have ordered materials. So I'm not saying if someone asks for a deposit that you should run and hide, but certainly if everything should be in proportion. So if you've got a reasonable medium, what I would call a medium-sized building job, so somewhere between £10,000 and £40,000 worth of work, if that builder said, I would like a deposit of £500 to hold the date, or £200, personally I've got no reason why that wouldn't be an acceptable thing to do. We personally don't do it, but the reason we don't do it is because we try and build that level of trust as early as we can. So what I would advise other builders to do if they can, and what we do, is we say we're never going to ask for anything that doesn't represent the cost of work that's already done. We try and make it so that our clients are always in credit, if you like. So we have always delivered more than they have actually paid for, right up until the end of the job. And again, the reason I do that is because I feel like it instills a great level of trust between all the parties. My advice to those people who say, yeah, but what about these cancellations? All I can say is, talking from experience, it's not an issue we have had. We have very, very, very few cancellations. I can't think of any really that have impacted us in terms of a financial impact. Obviously the odd thing happens, but we can usually move, wriggle around that, and it doesn't actually hit us in the pocket. So I can only talk from my experience and certainly what I feel. Now, what I would say quite strongly is, if a builder has given you a quote for £10,000 and they are asking for £5,000 of it up front, that to me would set off warning signals, because I can't really see many cases in where that would be justified. Now, obviously there's such a wide variety of things that builders and people in my industry deliver on, so again, I can't talk for everyone. It's not a blanket statement, but these are certainly things that should get you thinking and looking in a little bit more detail. Now, another reason why, looking not on the negative but on the positive side, another reason why you can draw some positives from the company that doesn't want money up front is because it kind of tells a bit of a story about the fiscal responsibility of that company. So if someone has given you a quote for £4,000 and they want £2,000 of it up front, I personally am thinking, if they need that money up front, they obviously don't have these credit accounts set up, which tells me one of two things. Either they're not that experienced and they may still be learning, or they can't get the credit account set up because the suppliers deem them uncreditworthy. Now, either of those things would raise a flag for me, and I'd think, well, maybe I should go elsewhere. If I've got someone else who's given me a quote for £5,000 for the same job, but they only want 50 quid to hold a date, far more likely to go with that person, even though they're charging me 25% more. The reason for that, on top of the 2 points I just said, would be that with the the worry that someone either isn't experienced enough to know that they should have trade accounts, or with someone who has demonstrated to these suppliers that they're unworthy of being given the credit. Both of these examples are people that I wouldn't have a massive amount of confidence in the long-term stability of that company. So there's kind of knock-on effects there if something goes wrong. You know, what are you going to do in 3 months if there's a problem? And there often is. And you know, with the best will in the world, we work really hard to deliver top quality and reduce the amount of snags and things on our jobs. But the environments we work in, there will always be little things that we need to pop back and address. So you're also getting a message about whether or not that company's going to be there to deliver those things down the line. So I made a few notes on the board here, so just bear with me. So what I'm really saying again is that a company shouldn't require your finances to aid their cash flow. If it's a well-run company with a good track record and all of the things that means they're probably going to be around for a little while to look after you, then chances are they should A, have these trade accounts, and B, should be able to use them in such a way as to stage the payments with you so that you're only ever paying for what's done. I will just mention again, because I did post earlier about what we were going to be talking about tonight, and I had 2 or 3 tradesmen say, well, hang on a minute, we take deposits. Again, a small deposit for holding a date, I don't think falls in the same category as asking for a lot of money up front. The other thing I was going to touch on briefly is get all these things in writing. So if someone says that they're not going to ask for money up front, get that in writing, particularly when it comes to stage payments. If people are going to issue stage payments to you that require paying when certain things are done, get that in writing. Any builder that is reluctant to put that in writing, again, red flags. There shouldn't be, if someone's dealing with you honestly, there shouldn't be any reason why they would not want to. I think Zelda might have something to say. No? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's almost all I have for this evening, so we're going to wrap up very soon. I'm very new to this whole Facebook Live thing. Please, 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 please give us some feedback. Let me know what you think. We're going to be doing these every week at 6:30 on a Wednesday. I think the thing you say is like, share, subscribe. Do all those things because we're hoping that this is going to make a real difference. What I'm trying to do is give everybody the knowledge so that we increase the number of good decisions that we're making as a collective group of people. So that's builders, it's self-employed tradesmen who work for other builders, it's the end user, the clients. I know when I come to the end of a project, if we have delivered exactly what the client was expecting, for exactly what they're expecting to pay, then they're over the moon. And I'm trying to move into a world where there's more of that and less of the other. So if there is anything in particular you'd like me to cover, please let me know. I've made a few notes here. Some of the things I'll be covering over the next few weeks. We're going to be talking about the difference between a quote and an estimate. They're very, very different animals. The reason why A, it's important, and B, not always easy to compare like for like when you're getting 2 or 3 different quotes. Going to talk about something builders call PC sums, prime cost sums, the amount they allow for certain items. Trade associations and accreditations, you'll see we're a member of quite a few. They all mean different things. Some should fill you as the consumer with masses of confidence. Some maybe not quite so hard to get hold of. I'll be talking about the pros and cons of all of those. What sort of insurance really your tradesman should be carrying. And again, things like that, you know. open communication and honesty. If you're dealing with someone and they're happy to discuss with you and answer questions and be open and honest, that's a really great sign. As soon as you start asking for insurance documents and they sort of fudge it and they don't want to share the information or whatever, red flags. I don't want to do business with people who I feel don't want to do business honestly with me. Bit more about aftercare, how I can help you become a building expert in whatever it is you're looking to have done. Consumer rights and how they cover building work, and then we'll get down into some nitty-gritty of individual projects. So we'll look a little bit at roofing, if you're going to get a roofing contractor or a fencing contractor, what I would personally be looking for in work. So there we go. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm just seeing a few comments, mostly LOLs. Anyway, thank you all for joining me, and that's it. See you next time. Bye.